been a bit of a break from the league. What have you been able to do over the last couple of weeks to get into the players? Have you had a lot of change to make or just tweaking?
In terms of what, content or?
Yeah, training, yeah.
No, a continuation of what we always do. So yeah, that's been good. It's been nice to have some free time without a game in between. That's been important for us, but it just gave us an opportunity to get more time on the grass.
And it's been limited, hasn't it, the availability time on the grass up to this point because of the amount of fixtures, so that must be benefit to you as a coach.
Yes, absolutely. The flip side of that, it means the team's doing well because it means we're involved in cup competition. So, but I think the number of games we've played for all teams, whether you've done well in the cup or not done well, it must be near 30 games already. So, quite ridiculous, but we'll take it. 7
games this month, 3 different competitions. How big a month do you think this is in the season for Lincoln City?
I've not thought about it, to be honest. One thing I've done this year is, and I haven't done it on purpose, but it's worked really well for me, is just to approach the next game being the most important game without talking about cliches. So I've not looked too far into that.
Do you, as a footballer, did you always see December as a big month because of the Christmas period? Everybody looks at Boxing Day. Did you just treat it like you do now as a coach?
No, it's just it's work. You're working hard. When you're a player, you're working hard. I suppose the only difference from somebody who's involved in football to not is that on the holiday period that most people get, which is a great time for family and stuff, it's the opposite in football. It's probably the busiest period when you look at Christmas and Easter. So nothing we're not used to. So no, unfortunately I didn't look at it like that. No.
Injury wise, what's the latest? Adam Jackson, the first one I can think of, who's been struggling.
Yeah, Adam's fit. Adam's fit and available from a fitness perspective. We'll give you a little bit more detail as we go along, but he's fitting well, yeah. Apologies for being vague on that.
Tom Hopper, did he come through all right, the trophy game, and is he again in contention now?
100%, yeah. Tom's raring to go, and it's in a good place. We had an in-house game last week, 11v11, where we got match officials in and did it properly. All got kitted up and tried to make it as real as we could. And Tom banked another goal, so he's fit and raring to go.
And Jordan Garrick, what's the latest with his situation?
So Jordan, unfortunately, has been. Unfortunately, second part of what I'm going to say, he has been back. He's looked outstanding. He's looked like a different guy mentally, and he's had the. I can't explain how small a setback it is, tiny from what I can gather, but we'll see how he is tomorrow, but is unlikely to be available.
The fact that you've seen a different Jordan Garrick coming back, do you think he just needed a break, a little bit of time? Because I know he went back to Swansea, some treatment, just time away from the building, just to have a bit of a reset himself.
I think he just needed clarity on himself and his body. He's a lovely lad. I think he's a kid. He's not a kid. He's a kid compared to me at my old age. He's a great lad. He's very popular in the dressing room. He's very popular with the staff. Where I really feel from he's just had a completely fractured time since he's been here. I don't think he's felt his body has allowed him to do what he wants to do and what we expect of him, and that's very frustrating for any player, to know that you can't do what you want to do, or you're not able to do what you're capable of doing. So I've really felt for him in that regard. I think mentally that's been really tough on him. He went back to Swansea. Spoke to their physios. I think it's important to get a different perspective, so not just our guys, their guys. We got to the bottom of what it was, dealt with that, treated that, came back all guns blazing, looked $1 million, and he's just had. I'm still waiting to hear, to be honest, but he's had a very minor setback.
Shrewsbury this weekend, again a side that you can't really predict their results week in, week out. How difficult do you think they'll be?
I think I keep saying this. I'm so sorry I feel sorry for you when you're interviewing me. Look, every game, it doesn't matter who you play, and I don't like saying top of the league, bottom of the league. Everybody's capable of beating everybody. They're a big, strong, physical, powerful team. They've got good individuals. They've got a front line that should threaten or frighten anybody, and they've got an outstanding manager in Steve, who's had multiple promotions, and I hope I haven't got this wrong, but it's up the high end of near, I think it's 700 league games or something. So 2 of the year, near enough managerial career, an outstanding guy. huge reputation in football. So from that regard, we're expecting a tough game. But we firmly believe whoever we play, whoever the team is, we're 100% going there with the intention of winning a game of football, getting 3 points. That's all we ever do going into any game. And Saturday's no different, and we hold no fear playing against anybody in the league.
Month away from the transfer window now, do you have in your mind clarity of what you want in January, or what you would like in January in terms of recruitment?
Yes.
And do you expect it to be a month where you're going to be busy, or do you think it's just a little bit like you're talking about training with tweaking things? Do you think it's similar there as well?
We've had a lot of conversations around recruitment with the recruitment team, with Jez, between ourselves as coaching staff, and that is an ongoing process. I think any manager will tell you what we want, what we can have, and what's available. You didn't need that. That's still, when I leave here, I'm going straight into the recruitment meeting. So it's about dotting the I's and crossing the T's, and sometimes, Rob, unfortunately, what we want and what we've identified we may not get or may not be available, or somebody may not want to come, and it swings in roundabouts. We've got very talented players who I'm sure are well sought after by other people. So whether there'll be loads of business or very little business, I have no idea. But what we do have is a clear plan, a clear strategy. Whether we're able to maximise that is time will tell.
And going into this transfer window, you're second now as a head coach. Do you feel better prepared for what to expect over the 30 days, or do you think it's going to again be one where every single transfer window will be difficult no matter what?
Yeah, definitely better prepared. I think when I first came in, a lot of things were already in place, and what I didn't want to do was come in as a coach. I think we've got a brilliant recruitment team, which is obviously overseen by Jez as the director of football. People have come and gone from that recruitment team. They've done an outstanding job. So what I didn't want to do was come into a league that I wasn't, being honest with you, I wasn't overly familiar with, and come in and start saying I want A, B and C. So a lot of the things that we did in the transfer window had been well in place before I came in, but I was absolutely happy with that and really pleased to be the one to get him over the line. Whereas I think this time around, naturally, we've been here for 5-6 months, we've had a lot more input in that.
You never forget your first love. So whilst you get behind your national team this winter, remember your club. As EFL football continues throughout November and December, if you can, be there. And if you can't, stream it live. As you cheer on your nation, never forget your first love.